My life is turning to shit and I don't know what to do about it. I'm a 19-year-old male, and I feel like every part of my life is getting worse. In the past 4 months, I've lost my dad, my granddad, and almost all my friends. Almost 2 years ago, I went to Brazil as part of an exchange program. It was both the hardest thing in my life and the best thing I've ever done. Contact with my family at home was limited because it was advised so I could settle more easily with my host family. Therefore, I didn't know what was happening at home, but that didn't matter to me because nothing ever happens there. When I got back home, I gradually lost contact with the people in Brazil, but I had my friends here and my family. Because of the exchange, I basically skipped half a year of school, so for the remainder of the year, I had to work hard to catch up, leaving me with little time to hang out with friends. I made it through the year, and then had 2 months of vacation. Most of my friends were away, so I had to spend most of the time alone. It was the wizard vacation. The relationships in my friend group felt different. The next year was the last before university. It was a rather good year, very busy, a ton of studying and the best school activities. After that year my friends and I all managed to get into university. I almost immediately lost contact with half of my friend group. We were a group of 5, and I considered them to be my best friends who I could turn to for everything. That hurt a little, but I was busy with university and made a few new friends, not nearly as close as the group I had before, but it was fine. Overall, the first semester went great. My study schedule wasn't the best, but before the exams, I worked my SS off and managed to get relatively good grades. The week after the exams, I was free, but most of my friends were again unavailable. There was this one friend from university who was available. We hung out, it was just the two of us, but I had a great time and thought he did too. When the first lectures started again, that one friend I had grown rather close to just stopped talking to me. Soon after, the other friends in my university friend group followed. But who cares? Many people sit alone to follow the lectures. I had my friends at home and my family, so it was all fine. I just focused on studying, hoping that the following exams would be easier. After a month or two, we had a new vacation period. I wanted to focus on studying again, but on the first day, my parents sat me, my brother, and my sister down for a serious talk. My parents told us they were getting a divorce. To me, this came out of nowhere. Of course, I had heard them argue a few times, but they always reassured us that they would never leave each other. It was very hard for me to understand why and where this was coming from. Apparently, my dad had been lying about things, like telling my mom that he had to go to work early when he was actually going to the gym. When my mom confronted him about it, he would lie again, even when my mom had seen him at the gym. My dad also started drinking and hid alcohol around the house, which, by the way, is not forbidden in our household, but he lied about that as well. I don't understand why he would do all that. But maybe I don't know the full story, as I mostly have my mom's perspective. Most of those things happened when I was away to Brazil. My dad moved out shortly after, and I haven't been in contact with him since. It's hard. My dad was my hero, I looked up to him, and now I just have this bad picture of him. A few days later, we got news that my granddad had cancer. He had cancer before and had beaten it then, and he was very positive he would do the same now. A few weeks passed, there were a lot of ups and downs, but doctors said it was going well. My final exam started, and just a few days before my second and most difficult exam, the doctors gave us bad news. We went with the whole family to see my granddad because the doctors said it could be the last time to see him. It was also the first time I saw my dad again. We almost didn't talk. He looked weak and lost, not like I remembered him, but I didn't give him much attention. I wanted to stay with my granddad. We stayed there almost the whole day. I had to get back home in the hopes of being able to do my exam. I wasn't able to concentrate or do anything. The day after, we went back in the morning because my granddad had passed away. Now it was even harder than before. The doctor gave me a certificate that I could use to delay my exam. I didn't want to delay because that would mean I had to cancel a trip with my friends. It probably would be the only thing we would be able to do together, and with everything going on, there is almost nothing I wouldn't do to be there. So I went home earlier and tried studying again, with not much success. I studied almost the whole night, sacrificing my sleep in the hope of passing my exam. I almost didn't sleep, but after that exam, I had to study again for the next exam, again with almost no time to get some sleep. At night, when my mom would go to sleep, she would say goodbye to me and cry, so almost every night, I was comforting her and helping with everything. She talked a lot to me about how she felt. One time she told me she had suicidal thoughts, and if not for me and my little siblings she probably wouldn't be here. That scared me a lot and made it even harder to sleep. She lost the 2 most important men in her life in under 3 months. This didn't make it easier for me, but to me, It was necessary to be there for my mom, and I'm certain that it helped her a lot. This went on for another 3 weeks. The exams went horribly. I spent so much time and energy in the months before the exams to prepare, and it feels like it was all for nothing. I do not have the results yet, but I've never been so unsure about my results. Exams were over. I basically sacrificed my grades for the trip I was about to go on. Just the day before, some friends said they wouldn't come because they wanted to do things with other friends of theirs. This destroyed me. I had to give up so much for that trip, to finally enjoy something after all the SHT that has been happening. I felt betrayed. They knew what was happening and why it was important to me, but apparently, it didn't matter to them, showing me how much I mattered to them. I now feel like I have one friend left who will be away for a few months in another country to visit family. Now I have 2 months of time and nothing to look forward to. I feel stuck in my own house. It feels like there is nothing that makes me feel happy. I just feel empty. There is no one I can talk to.